I know I'm being extra today, y'all. Okay. All right. So this is part 2 of 3 ways that you get in your own way. So I stopped at number 1 because the sound was out. Hopefully, prayerfully, you can hear me. In fact, let's see. Let me see if I can get some audio up here. Hold on. That way I can tell if, let's see. That way I can tell whether, if you watching this just on replay, just go forward, fast forward like 2 minutes. Okay, good. All right. Hey, Cynthia, thank you. Because I was just about to say, I want to can you hear. Okay, you can hear me. So I stopped by on the last part of sharing that one of the ways that people, and thank you for sharing that. Telling me that one of the ways that people get in their own way is they doubt themselves. And the first thing that happens is that they question their abilities. So what I was sharing with you all is if you're going to question something, I want you to ask yourself the right questions. In order for you to live a fulfilled life, an accomplished life, a life full of success and achievement, even if things don't go the way that you want them to go, is you have, I don't know what is going on with the connection around here. So the first thing that I want you to ask yourself is, what if it does work? Right? If you're saying that it's not going to work, ask yourself, what if it does work? When you ask yourself the right questions, God made us in like, okay, good. God made us in his image and in his likeness, right? So if we're made like him, we're made to be creative as he is. So when you ask yourself the right questions, you create an environment and a space where you can begin to create solutionists. I want you all to always tell yourself that I am a solutionist. It's a coin that Dr. JaNee created. I am a solutionist. And I want you to say that I am a solutionist. What is a solutionist? Someone who creates solutions. Welcome back, Enrique. Thank y'all for y'all patience. A solutionist is someone who creates solutions for where there are problems. So if the first thought that comes to your mind is this won't work, I want you to get into creative mode. And I want you to begin to ask yourself the right questions. Instead of doubting yourself, begin to ask yourself, even if you don't feel good enough, how can I feel good enough? So let's just say, for an example, that you want to transition into a greater position. 9 times out of 10, you want a promotion for something that you are qualified for. And the only reason why you feel that you aren't qualified is because it's a different space. But I want you to ask yourself, when you look at those qualifications of that job, the qualifications of that event that you want to pitch yourself for, or whatever it is, I want you to begin to check the boxes for the areas that you are qualified for. I want you to look at all of the things that you have achieved. This is one of the greatest ways to become sure and boost your confidence. If you don't feel qualified, go through everything that you have achieved. Even think of all of the accomplishments, all of the things that you made it through that a lot of people would have given up on. Think about your childhood. Think about how you made it through that. The stuff, good morning, good afternoon. This is morning. What I'm going on about, the topic is, that's funny. The topic is 3 ways that you get in your own way. Number 1 is that you doubt yourself. Instead of questioning yourself as to instead of questioning all of the ways that it will work, you talk yourself out of it, which leads me to number 2. The other way that you get in your own way is you talk yourself out of it. You convince yourself that you can't do it, so you talk yourself out of it. And here's the thing, you at your highest level of excitement, like the business idea. How many of you all have businesses or desire to start a business, right? Or you may have an idea for an app or something. and you're at your highest level of excitement. You're thinking about all of the money that you're going to make, how people need what it is that you have. And then you go into the other way that you talk, you get in your own way. You begin to overthink that thing. And here's the thing. You think about all of the ways. All right, Cynthia, just make sure you subscribe so you can go back and watch the replay if you want. And you get into overthinking mode. And one thing about overthinking is you do number two, you talk yourself out of it. You begin to think about, oh, what is the process of getting the app done? Oh, what's the process of getting customers? Oh, well, what will happen? You think about all of the negative things that can happen instead of all of the positive. And here's the thing. A lot of the times people wonder why successful people are successful. I'm going to give y'all a hint. I have been in rooms with a billionaire and with millionaires. And I'm going to tell y'all, it's not that they don't go through stuff. It's not that they haven't experienced failure. In fact, they've experienced even greater failures and challenges than those who haven't accomplished the level of success that you desire. I'm going to tell you the difference. They have grit. I interviewed two sisters who built a multi-million-dollar business. And one of the things the oldest sister said, she was like, in entrepreneurship, you have to have grit. If you're talking about scaling your business to 7 figures, you got to have grit. And here's the thing. A lot of y'all have grit. You just have grit in an area that, well, let me put it like this. You just need to put that grit that you have in the area that's going to push you into your success. What do I mean? A lot of y'all grew up in households that was not smooth, that wasn't easy. A lot of y'all lived in areas and had challenges, whether health or relationships, that a lot of people would have killed themselves over because it was so hard. But when you get to a different area that is not familiar, you shrink. But all you have to do is transition that grit that you had when you were growing up, that made you tough, that made you relentless. Apply that to the area of success to say, you know what, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. A lot of y'all give up, and that's the other thing. The other way that you get in your own way, you give up before you give yourself a chance to succeed. All right, Enrique, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you can come back and watch if you want. Right? A lot of y'all give up before you even give yourself a chance to start. Lord, y'all are hilarious. So the same grit that you had during the tough times of your life, apply that to the areas of your life that you want to achieve success in. Don't be so quick to give up. And here's the third thing. The way that you get in your own way is that you stay discouraged instead of becoming determined. If you're going to put that in a quote, make sure you put Dr. JaNee said it. I tell our kids all of the time that I'm not saying that you can't get discouraged. I'm not saying that you won't be discouraged. I'm not saying that what you're doing in life to lead a fulfilled and a successful life is not going to be hard. I'm not saying that. Because I'm here to tell you, anything that you want to achieve that's great, you can almost expect that it's not going to be easy. That's why there are more people who are financially successful than there are who aren't. I'm not saying that it's not going to be discouraging. I'm not saying that it's not going to be hard, but I tell our kids all of the time, don't stay discouraged. Get determined. Somebody put that in the comments. Just put determined. You don't stay discouraged. You don't stay disappointed. You figure out a way. Hey, Cynthia. You figure out a way to make this work. If you went after the promotion the first time and they denied you, here's the thing. You don't just go after it again. Thank you, Enrique. Right? You don't just go after it again. You identify what the qualifications are. You make yourself highly valuable. You go back and you improve a skill. You master whatever the skill is that is in alignment with the promotion, that's in alignment with the industry. So even for me, I'm in the personal development industry. Right? So one of the things, I'm not comparing myself to other people in the industry, because I don't have time to take my focus off of my race to see what they doing that's going to slow me down. But you know what I'm doing? I'm mastering the skill of mindset. I'm mastering the skill of achieving great success. I'm mastering the skill of how I should position my way of thinking to accomplish the things that I desire to accomplish. When I work with my clients, that's what we focus on. We master. I teach my clients how to master their way of thinking so they can position themselves to accomplish the things in life that they know God wants them to accomplish. That's what we do. So you can't stay discouraged. You can't stay disappointed. Here's the thing. You can. It all is a decision. Now you can stay discouraged. You can stay disappointed because it didn't work out. You can stay upset because they told you no and rejected you. Or you can say to yourself, like I say, I'm going to figure this out. I'm determined to figure it out. My mama used to say, always used to say about my sister that she get like a pit bull. And what do I mean? My mom used to say with pit bulls, they would bite you. And once they got blood, they would never let you go. Once they got that grip, they would never let you go. Right? I don't know what that means, but who cares? They won't let you go. So what does that mean? When you're determined, you are so focused on figuring out how to achieve a life of fulfillment, how to position your mindset to never give up, that you never throw in the towel before you figure it out. You give yourself a chance to succeed. I say this, every day I wake up is a day of opportunity. Every day that I'm still alive is an opportunity to do better today than I did yesterday. To do better this year than I did last year. To do better today than I was 30 days ago. No, you can't. You could probably see me when I'm going live in my house, but you can't see my house. I'm that person. I'm that person. It's minimal times you will see our children. It's minimal times you probably won't ever see my husband because he's just not that person. He care less about social media. He care less about being on there. No, probably not. Probably not. But I want you all to get to a place where you become determined instead of choosing to remain discouraged. Every time you make a decision to remain discouraged, you take away the opportunity for you to become better and to create a life that is full of success, to create a life that's full of confidence, that creates a life of great achievement. So I want to give you this homework. I want you to ask yourself, and it's easy, ain't nothing hard, but I want you to apply this thing. I want you to identify areas where you remain discouraged. I want you to identify and be aware. Here's the biggest thing. Be aware next time it's something that you want to do. I want you to identify when you're doubting yourself. I want you to identify times where you're choosing to remain discouraged. And remember what I said. Instead of remaining discouraged, get what? I want to see somebody put it in the comments. Instead of remaining discouraged, you need to get what? I need to make that into a program. Oh, that would be so good. I think I like that, God. So instead of remaining discouraged, you get determined. And the last thing, I want you to identify any time that you want to do something that you begin to talk yourself out of it. But instead, I want you to talk yourself into it. So I'm sure that this has helped you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also, if you check the description area, there is a link to get your gift from me. And join me next time on YouTube. You all have a phenomenal Saturday. And remember to know your worth. Bye, y'all.